Good morning. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to Orange Technical College, Mid-Florida Campus's Career Services Tips from the Pros. And we want to offer what we believe are some useful information or points of information while we are required to shelter in place at home. Our expert guest today is Mr. Charles Brewer of our Digital Photography program. First off, Mr. Brewer, can you just tell us a little bit about the Digital Photography program?
The Digital Photography program is a one-year course that prepares you to get entry-level sort of employment as a photographer or a visual artist. So whether you have a little bit of background in photography or not, we can kind of bring you up to speed and begin to teach you the technical side and also the visual communication side of visual arts.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Sounds interesting. So what are some basic skills beginners need to know if they wanted to get started in the industry or even, or that your program prepares them for?
I think, some technical skills can be learned in the course and throughout your journey. I think that the one thing that would be helpful to know to start my program or to start getting into photography is knowing what you want either your photos to look like or what you're trying to say. So knowing what kind of images that you want to take, the kind of person you are, and whether you want to work with people or not, those kind of things I think are very helpful, so that you have a decent idea of what direction to head once you start learning the skills, and you can kind of really start focusing them towards the kind of things you're interested in.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So in today's climate, I know a lot of people are getting very creative with some of the services that they're offering their clients and things of that nature. So what are some non-traditional employment opportunities for students during this time?
Well, photography and visual arts have a lot of non-traditional type employments all the time. So we can kind of piggyback on that. I know some things that are trending are like front porch type sessions for the family portrait photographers. There's several people doing that in my neighborhood. There's actually a photographer here in Longwood, his name's slipping my mind, that's doing more of an art project about families staying at home together and spending a lot more time together. And then with my students, I'm just challenging them to photograph what they know right now, social distancing, and because it's something that's relatable to everybody. And so photographing what you're experiencing, is something that other people want to see and relate to right now. So.
Okay, great, great. So with that being said, as a professional yourself, are there any tips or any do's and don'ts for earning side income during this time frame? Just keeping in mind, like you said, with the CDC guidelines, with the social distancing, but any tips or do's and don'ts that you can give your students or any potential students?
Yeah, well, as we start to open up, or even if you're doing front porch sessions and things, I think it's just, client comfort is always something that you want to keep in mind, even when we're not in these times. And so during these times, keeping your distance, wearing a mask and things, just to comfort your clients when you're around them and their families, if you're working with them, and then sending your ideas and poses ahead of time, so that you don't have to kind of get too close and show them or touch and move them. That way they have a little bit of a reference of how to pose, maybe even number the poses or something like that, and kind of reference those. You can work a lot out over Zoom and over different things like that beforehand, so that when you're in the moment, you don't have to interact as closely or as much, and can kind of keep the time down and get the job done and get out.
So excellent. So like you said, even if, we work in this current climate under the stay-at-home orders, client comfort, that's what I'm hearing you say. Client comfort is one of those things that you really want to make sure that you incorporate into any session. But with this one, there are some extra measures you can take, utilizing an online platform to kind of show things ahead of time, using your mask and things of that nature. So, you can mitigate any germs and things like that spreading. So that's
In a
excellent.
lot of ways, the things that are sort of feel like it's holding us back are really just making us, think about things that we should be doing anyway, and to save time and to help out clients and that sort of stuff. So it's just be communication. I think we're all communicating a little bit more and in different ways than we have in the past, and so it's helpful.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we thank you for your time. That was some great information. So we have some students who are currently in the program, but if you're interested in getting more information, you can definitely visit us on our website at www.orangetechcollege.net. Hit the admissions tab, and at the bottom there's request information. And if you're interested in digital photography, you could just select digital photography. So once again, Mr. Brewer, thank you for spending this time with us and tips from the pros. And hopefully this generates a lot of interest in your program. So we
Yeah, thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye.